Hey, it's Beth. I wanted to just talk a little bit about Google Calendar with an embedded Google Meet conference, but this time, instead of just doing a single event, having it repeat. And when you do a repeating event, that means you don't need to do a new Google Meet because it's going to keep that link the same and you can use it again and again. So first, I also want to remind you about Slides Carnival. They have some really cool looking slides there like this one. You're able to use them for free, and then you just give them credit at the end of your slide. I do it at the beginning just to remind you. All right, so here we go. This is what you're going to be doing today. So 3 easy steps. The first one is to create your calendar appointment. We're going to go from top to bottom. There's going to be a window box that appears, and then we're just going to go through everything that we need to put in there, and we're going to get out. Then we're going to go back in and we're going to edit the calendar appointment, and we're going to turn it into a repeating event. And then finally, we're going to go back in a third time and we're going to copy the link, and then you're going to take that link and you're going to put it in whatever tool you use to communicate with your students. I'm going to show you how to put it into Google Classroom because that's what I use in my class. It's super easy. If you use something else, if you prefer email, if you prefer to put it on a separate website, if you use Google Sites, it's just the same thing as inserting a link. So it's going to be just as easy. So we're going to get out of this and I'm going to go into my Google Calendar. And I'm going to close this one. And I already have a programming class meeting, but I'm just going to create a new one. So I'm going to hit the create button and I'm just going to say computer science meeting. And it's going to be, so right now it's April 2nd. I don't want it on April 2nd. I actually want it on the 31st, and instead of 10 p.m., I want it to be, let's see, maybe I'll do 10 a.m. Let me scroll. So if I didn't feel like scrolling, although I'm here at 10 a.m. now, I could change that to p.m. And instead of making it until 11 a.m., I'm going to make it into 10:30. So I only want a 30-minute appointment. I'm not going to add guests. If you wanted to add a guest, then they would get a Google Calendar appointment. So maybe if you have an ESP in your classroom, you could do it in that fashion of adding the guests. So they'll get it in their Google Calendar. That might be nice. If you wanted to have somebody else from your department observing your meeting or something, you could add them in that way. We're going to go to this field here, which is add rooms, location, or conferencing, which is actually 3 different fields. So when I click, it's going to open into all 3. And by clicking in this add conferencing, that's how I get the Google Hangouts. So that's already created now. And I'm not going to put anything else in because I'm going to describe to them what it's for. They're going to get it from the top word anyway, my description of what the event is. So I don't think I need to add anything in here. If you wanted to, like if there was notes or something you wanted them, if you wanted to give them a file, you could add things in that way if you wanted to. So if you click in that description field, you can see it looks just like the regular editor and you can add links and things of that sort in there. But I'm just going to hit save. And so now I have this computer science meeting here. I'm going to click back in. So now we're on step 2. So I need to edit this. And you can see up here, this little pencil, that's a common icon for editing. You probably see it in lots of Google's things, and actually other companies use that one as well. And even if you weren't quite sure, you could mouse over. Sometimes I see things and I'm like, I wonder what that does. And a lot of times it gives you a clue, like a trash can, I think delete. This, I think, yep, I can email guests, and this probably has more options, which is exactly what it's showing me. But I want to edit, so I'm going to click on that. And what I want to edit is I want to turn this into a repeating event. So the default says does not repeat. So it's this one-time event only. And I'm going to click on that down arrow and I'm going to go all the way to the bottom to custom because I want it to repeat, but I want it to stop on a certain date. So as of right now, we're going back to school in May. So that means I want it to repeat until the beginning of May. And so I want it to go every week. Now, let's say you are going to meet with your kids on Tuesday, Thursday. You could do that here as well. So you can add in multiple days. Right now, I'm just going to do a single repeating event. And I want it to end, and so the default is never, but I actually want it to end on a particular date. So it says June 30th for the default. I'm going to click on that. I don't want June, so I'm going to hit the back arrow there. And I want it to be, so May 4th is when the governor said we were going back. My event's on a Tuesday, so I'm going to pick the Tuesday before the event, before I'm going back. And that's all I needed to do to make it repeating, and I'm going to click done. The other thing that I like to do is I tend to color code things, so I'm just going to switch the color. So my class I usually put in blue. So you can change the color if you want, but you don't have to. And then you're going to click Save. And so now I have my new computer science meeting, and I have it color coded in blue. If I click on that now I can go here and I get those 2 pieces of paper. And again, the 2 pieces of paper is a common icon for copying because it's like you're going from 1 to 2. And so I'm going to click on that and it's going to copy it to the clipboard. There's a message that appears down here. It's just cut off on my screen. I'm sorry about that, but it did copy to the clipboard. So then I would go to my Google Classroom. Or again, you can put it in any program you want. I'm going to click Create here, and I'm going to make a separate topic in my Google Classroom that's just for my online meeting link. And I'm going to make sure that this goes to the top of the screen, so whenever the kids go into classwork, that's going to be the first thing that they see. So I moved that up. Did you see how you could just click and drag it up? So now it's on the top. Now I'm going to create a new, and I'm going to make it a material. So material is something that they're not going to pass anything in. It's just going to be, I'm giving them information. So I'm going to say meeting link for every Tuesday, because I want them to know every single Tuesday they're going to use the same link. I'm going to attach a link. I'm going to paste. I use Control-V to paste. Some people like to right-click to paste, whatever you'd like to do. So that's in there now, and I can just post it. It's going to go to all of my students. Oh, and I forgot to put my topic, so I'm just going to put that in online meeting link. If you forget, you can go back in and edit afterwards. So I'm going to save that. So now this appears under that topic. So it's sort of, it categorizes it nicely for the students. They could see it on the side if they wanted. And so when it's time for them, every Tuesday, they're going to click here and they're going to go in. And actually, I forgot to put the time. So I'm probably going to put, I'm going to add in every Tuesday at, I can't remember what time I put it at. I think I put it at 10 o'clock maybe. I'll double check later because this is not a real appointment. It doesn't matter, but you would make sure that you had your real actual time. And so now the kids will be able to go in. It'll be nice and easy and I don't have to do it again and again. This is one time and it's done. So if you have any questions, certainly come to any of the open office hours or email any of the tech support staff. We're happy to help you.